Los Angeles Angels versus Detroit Tigers. The Los Angeles Angels will play the Detroit Tigers at Comerica Park. And LA and Detroit met for a 4-game series in early May. The Tigers won 3 of the matchups and are 6-4 in their last 10 meetings with the Halos. The total was split 5-5 in those 10 games. Los Angeles, 55-60 SU, 62-53 RL, and 62-50-3 OU, lost 2 of 3 games against Tampa Bay in its previous series. The Angels are 5-5 in their last 10 games. The over went 6-3-1. The Halos will start left-hander Yusei Kikuchi tomorrow against Detroit, hoping the veteran can continue his recent strong form. In his last outing, a 6-inning win against the Rays, the 34-year-old surrendered just 1 run and 4 hits while striking out 7, showcasing his ability to keep hitters off balance. Kikuchi is currently 5-7 with a 3.22 ERA and 1.40 WHIP over 24 starts, 134.0 IP, demonstrating solid overall performance. However, his road numbers tell a different story, as he is 0-5 with a 4.27 ERA and 1.61 WHIP in 11 starts away from home, 59.0 IP. The Halos will need Kikuchi to buck those road trends and deliver another quality start to keep their offense in the game against Detroit's pitching staff. Los Angeles lost 99 games last season, the most in franchise history. The club has made significant strides in 2025, compiling a 28-28 record at home and a respectable 25-30 mark on the road. LA may not make the postseason, but it's likely to be competitive over the next few weeks, showing signs of improvement with a young core gaining valuable experience and several key players beginning to find their rhythm. Detroit, 66-50 SU, 57-59 RL, and 59-57 OU, lost 2 of 3 against Minnesota in its previous series. The Tigers are 6-4 in their last 10 games. The over went 7-1, showing resilience, but still needing improvements in clutch situations to maintain their playoff push. The Tigers will turn to right-hander Charlie Morton against LA, hoping his veteran presence can stabilize their rotation. In his last outing, which was his debut start for Detroit, the 41-year-old delivered a solid performance, surrendering just 1 run on 4 hits, while striking out 6 over 6 innings against Philadelphia. This outing offered a glimpse of the value Morton can still provide. Over the 2025 season split between Baltimore and Detroit, he went 7-9 with a 5.20 ERA and a 1.52 WHIP across 24 appearances and 107.1 innings pitched. While those numbers don't jump off the page, Morton's experience and ability to work deep into games remains valuable. His pitching arsenal, including a sharp curve and a mid-90s fastball, allows him to keep hitters off balance. Detroit will be counting on him to limit damage against a tough LA lineup and give their offense a chance to stay competitive in this critical stretch of the season. Detroit broke out in 2024, winning 86 games in the regular season and riding a dominant 31-11 surge into the division series. For a proud franchise and passionate city, it was the type of season fans had long been craving, offering hope for sustained success. The Tigers stormed out to the division lead and were one of the hottest teams in MBL during the first half, showcasing a balanced mix of power, pitching, and defense. However, recent results have been less encouraging. Since the All-Star break, Detroit has struggled to maintain that momentum, posting a disappointing 7-12 record and allowing Cleveland to close the gap in the AL Central standings. The Tigers will need to rediscover their early season form if they want to fend off the competition and secure a playoff berth. This slump raises concerns about their consistency and ability to perform in high-pressure situations down the stretch. The visitors have not fared well against Morton, with a 29.7% strikeout rate and a 30.1% whiff rate in 84 previous at-bats against the Detroit starter, indicating a consistent inability to make quality contact. Considering his strong historical numbers against them and his current form, allowing 3 or fewer runs in 8 of his last 10 outings. It's reasonable to expect Morton to once again keep the Halos' offense in check. His mix of a sharp curveball and well-located fastball has proven difficult for this lineup to time, and his ability to generate swings and misses should limit scoring opportunities. As for the home team, while I'm optimistic about their potential over the next few weeks, it's hard to forecast a sudden offensive explosion here that would justify a play on the over. They're averaging just 3.8 runs per game since the All-Star break, a noticeable drop-off from their first-half production, and their recent inability to string together big innings suggests another low-scoring contest is likely. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Tigers moneyline. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Kansas City Royals versus Minnesota Twins. The Minnesota Twins hold a 36-34 record in games where they were favored on the money line this season, translating to a modest winning percentage of 51.4% in these matchups. When the odds are more heavily in their favor, specifically with money line odds of -139 or shorter, the Twins have performed notably better, posting a 2013 record or a 60.6% success rate. This suggests that when expectations are higher, Minnesota has generally risen to the occasion and delivered results. In contrast, the Kansas City Royals have found success as underdogs, winning 33 out of 72 games, 45.8%, in which they were not favored. When the Royals are set as underdogs with odds of +118 or longer, they hold an even 50% win rate at 17-17. This indicates that while Kansas City may struggle overall, they can be competitive in situations where they are expected to lose, often keeping games close or pulling off surprises. Looking at the scoring trends, the Twins have played in 114 games with a set over-under, and combined with their opponents, the total has gone over 50 times, sitting just under the 50% mark with a 50-56-6 record. Similarly, the Royals and their opponents have hit the over in 50 of their 116 games, with a total reflecting a nearly identical pattern in game scoring. These totals indicate that both teams are involved in fairly balanced contests where the combined scoring only slightly favors the under in the majority of matchups this season. Taken together, these statistics paint a picture of two teams with contrasting roles in the betting market. Minnesota as a slight favorite that performs better with shorter odds, and Kansas City as a resilient underdog that can keep games tight. For bettors, this matchup presents intriguing dynamics around moneyline and totals betting, with both teams demonstrating tendencies that could influence game flow and final results. The Twins are the 20th highest scoring team in MLB play, averaging 4.3 runs per game with a total of 489 runs scored so far this season. Minnesota ranks 13th in MLB with 136 home runs, averaging about 1.2 long balls per game, showing some power in the lineup but not elite slugging numbers. Their team batting average sits at .242, good for 19th in the majors, indicating they get hits at a modest rate but struggle to consistently put together high average performances. Twins strike out 8.2 times per game, which is the 14th best average in MLB, showing a relatively disciplined approach at the plate compared to other teams. On the mound, Minnesota's pitching staff boasts an impressive 8.7 strikeouts per 9 innings, ranking 8th in the league, reflecting their ability to generate swings and misses and limit opposing offenses. This balance of pitching prowess and moderate offensive production has kept the Twins competitive, though they still face challenges when it comes to generating consistent scoring opportunities. Kansas City Royals have struggled to generate offensive firepower this season, scoring the 28th most runs in Major League Baseball with just 429, averaging only 3.7 runs per game. Their lack of long ball power is also evident, ranking 28th in the league with only 102 home runs as a team. Despite these shortcomings, the Royals have shown some competence at the plate, boasting a respectable 244 batting average, which places them 17th in the majors, giving hope that they can at least get on base and manufacture runs in other ways. One of Kansas City's key offensive strengths is their ability to make consistent contact, ranking second in the league with an average of just 6.9 strikeouts per game. This contact ability helps the Royals avoid extended slumps, though it hasn't always translated to big run totals, as they often rely on timely hitting rather than power to generate offense. On the mound, the Royals have been notably more impressive this season. Their pitching staff averages 8 strikeouts per 9 innings, ranking 22nd in MLB. A solid, if not elite, strikeout rate that reflects a staff built more on control and pitch efficiency than pure overpowering stuff. More importantly, Kansas City has excelled at limiting opponents' scoring opportunities, pitching to a strong 3.65 ERA, which stands as the 4th best mark across all of baseball. This combination of effective run prevention and solid strikeout ability has been a critical factor in keeping the Royals competitive in many games, often compensating for their offensive shortcomings. Their pitchers have demonstrated the ability to grind through innings, induce weak contact, and manage high-leverage situations with poise, helping the team stay in contention despite challenges at the plate. With this pitching foundation, Kansas City remains a tough opponent, especially in tight ball games where runs are at a premium. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is over 7. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Philadelphia Phillies versus Texas Rangers. The Philadelphia Phillies face the Texas Rangers, with both teams looking to improve on strong seasons. The Phillies are 66-49 and in first place in the National League East Division, while the Rangers have a 60-57 record and are only a few games out of a wild card spot in the American League. The Phillies are having a great season and look to secure the division down the stretch. Jesus Luzardo will start the upcoming game, and he looks to build on what's been a strong season on the mound, as he's allowed only 65 runs in 127 innings, pitched while striking out 147 batters. Moreover, with a .385 expected opponent slugging percentage, a 6.6 barrel percentage, and a 3.64 expected ERA, opponents are making weak contact and struggling to drive in runs against Luzardo this season. Luzardo has stepped up, but the lineup is one of the best in baseball, scoring 4.69 runs per game. Kyle Schwarber is slashing 256/379/585 with 40 home runs and 247 total bases, while Bryce Harper and Trea Turner have added 28 home runs and 359 total bases, but the rest of the lineup has also been great. Brandon Marsh is slashing 267/336/405 with 100 total bases, while Nick Castellanos and Alec Boehm have added 23 home runs and 322 total bases to round out the lineup. The Rangers are in the postseason race thanks mostly to their rotation. The leader of the staff is Jacob deGrom, who is putting together a remarkable season, allowing only 40 runs in 128 innings, pitched while tossing 135 strikeouts. Moreover, with a 230 expected opponent batting average, a 31.6 chase rate, and a 3.27 expected ERA, opponents are making minimal contact against deGrom this season. The Rangers have gotten a boost from their pitching, but their lineup has disappointed, scoring only 4.11 runs per game. Corey Seager is slashing 261/367/465 with 16 home runs and 144 total bases, while Wyatt Langford and Evan Carter have added 21 home runs and 212 total bases, but the rest of the lineup has struggled. Only 3 batters have an OPS plus over 100, and opposing pitchers can eliminate the lineup as a result, creating challenges in sustaining offensive momentum throughout games. Both teams bring formidable arms to the mound, setting the stage for a pitching duel that could keep the scoreboard quiet from the very first pitch. The Phillies will rely on Jesus Luzardo, whose impressive season has seen him allow only 65 runs over 127 innings pitched. Luzardo's ability to mix pitches effectively and induce weak contact will be crucial in limiting the Rangers' offensive threats as he looks to deliver multiple strong innings and keep his team in the game. Meanwhile, the Rangers will counter with their ace, Jacob deGrom, who has been equally impressive, giving up just 40 runs over 128 innings pitched. deGrom's command and strikeout ability make him a tough opponent for any lineup, as he consistently induces weak contact and racks up strikeouts to stifle scoring chances. With both starters expected to perform at a high level, the game could become a strategic battle of wits between pitching and hitting, with each team trying to exploit the other's weaknesses. Given the quality of these pitchers and their recent form, the under is likely to hold, making this a classic low-scoring matchup where timely pitching and defense will determine the outcome. Fans should anticipate a tight, intense game with both teams battling hard to keep runs off the board. The Phillies are having a great season and have shown resilience in both their offense and pitching staffs, making them a tough opponent to face. However, the Rangers have their ace on the mound tonight, and they look poised to take control of this game right from the very first inning. The Rangers' offense is firing on all cylinders, with key hitters like Corey Seager and Wyatt Langford consistently putting pressure on opposing pitchers by making solid contact and delivering strong plate appearances. Their ability to get on base and string together hits should help generate multiple scoring opportunities throughout the game. On the other side, the Rangers' pitching staff will need to step up and contain the potent Phillies lineup. Jacob deGrom, despite a rough outing in his last start where he allowed 5 runs, is expected to rebound strongly. If he can settle in early and deliver multiple scoreless innings, it will give the Rangers a significant advantage by keeping the game close and conserving the bullpen's energy. With the bullpen locked and ready to close out the game, the Rangers have a great chance to secure a win, especially with the comfort of playing at home in front of their fans. This combination of effective pitching and timely hitting should be enough for the Rangers to come away victorious in this matchup. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Rangers money line. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box. Tampa Bay Rays versus Seattle Mariners. The Tampa Bay Rays, 57-59, 4th American League East, play the middle game of a 3-game series on the road in the Pacific Northwest versus the Seattle Mariners, 63-53, 2nd AL West. Tampa Bay was off on Thursday and beat the Los Angeles Angels 5-4 on Wednesday. However, Tampa Bay has lost 6 of the last 9 and trails first place in the American League East by 11 games. Seattle defeated the Chicago White Sox 4-3 on Thursday, completing a 3-game sweep of the series, and has won 6 of the last 7, but trails first place in the AL West by 1.5 games. Tampa Bay will play without 8 pitchers as well as position players, Stuart Fairchild, Jonathan Aranda, and Richard Palacios. Seattle will play without 4 pitchers as well as position players Luke Raley and Ryan Bliss. The Tampa Bay Rays are 10th in batting average at .252, 11th in runs scored with 522, 16th in slugging percentage at .7399, and 19th in on-base percentage at .315. Junior Caminero leads Tampa Bay in both home runs with 30 and RBI with 76. Brandon Lowe and Yandy Diaz are second in home runs with 20 apiece, while Diaz is second in RBI with 66. Tampa Bay has 3 active players with 53 or more RBI. The Rays have hit 173 doubles, 12 triples, and 126 home runs for 311 extra base hits in 116 games. Tampa Bay is second in both quality starts at 51 and WHIP at 1.21, while 9th in batting average against at .239 and 14th in ERA at 383.86. Drew Rasmussen leads Tampa Bay in wins with 9, while Ryan Pepiot leads Tampa Bay in strikeouts with 134 and ERA for starters at 3.77. Joe Boyle gets the nod on the mound Saturday for the Rays. This season, the right-hander is 1-1 with a 2.30 ERA, 0.88 WHIP, and 26 strikeouts. The Seattle Mariners are 10th in both runs scored with 531 and slugging percentage at .410. The Mariners are 11th in on-base percentage at .319 and 18th in batting average at .243. Cal Raleigh leads Seattle in both home runs with 42 and RBI with 90. Randy Arozarena is second in home runs with 23, and Julio Rodriguez is second in RBI with 62nd. Seattle has 5 players with 44 or more RBI. The Mariners have hit 154 doubles, 6 triples, and 165 home runs for 325 extra base hits in 116 games. On the mound, Seattle is 9th in quality starts with 46, 10th in batting average against at .240, and 11th in both ERA at 383.83 and WHIP at 1.24. Brian Wu leads Seattle in wins with 9, strikeouts with 136, and ERA for starters at 3.02. On Saturday, Seattle will hand the ball to Logan Evans. This season, the right-hander is 5-4 with a 4.30 ERA, 1.41 WHIP, and 53 strikeouts. As mentioned previously, these two teams both boast strong bullpens, which are likely to hold the opposing offenses in check and keep the scoring low. Tampa Bay's total has finished under in 4 of their last 6 games, reflecting their bullpen's ability to shut down opponents late. Additionally, when Tampa Bay is tagged as the underdog, the total has finished under in 4 of their last 5 games, showing a pattern of low-scoring outcomes in such situations. This upcoming game marks the first meeting between these two teams this season, but looking at recent history, the total has finished under in 2 of their last 3 matchups, indicating a trend toward tighter, more defensively focused contests. Given these factors, a lower-scoring affair seems likely once again. These two teams present remarkably similar statistics both offensively and on the mound, making this matchup especially intriguing as the deciding factor will likely hinge on the recent performances of their starting pitchers. Tampa Bay holds a slight edge in the head-to-head series, having won 6 of the last 9 meetings against Seattle, which could provide a psychological boost heading into this contest. The Rays have notably improved their pitching staff, climbing to 4th place in quality starts, while ranking 4th in WHIP, 9th in batting average against, and 14th in ERA across the league. Their bullpen has also been a strong point, sitting 8th in baseball with a solid 3.69 ERA, just ahead of Seattle's bullpen, which ranks 9th at 3.71. Tampa Bay's starting pitcher Joe Boyle has shown flashes of dominance recently. In one of his last 2 starts, he pitched 8.1 innings, allowing 7 hits and 4 runs, while in his most recent outing he was exceptional, limiting the Dodgers to just 3 hits and no runs over 5 innings last Sunday. On the other hand, Seattle's Logan Evans has struggled in his last 2 starts, surrendering 12 hits and 9 runs in under 10 innings, which could be a cause for concern for the Mariners' chances tonight. This contrast in recent starting pitching performances may well determine the outcome of this game, with Tampa Bay's improved pitching depth and bullpen strength giving them a slight advantage over Seattle. After analyzing both teams, my pick for this match is Tampa Bay Rays ML. Drop your thoughts and predictions in the comments box.